Bacon Shooter here. I'm back with a new site that my wife had actually kind of turned me on to. I saw her checking out this app on her phone, and I thought, what could they have for me? So it's actually wish.com. So my first impression of this before I ordered anything was direct ordering from Chinese knockoffs. That's essentially what it looked like to me. And after getting the some of the, or actually all of the items that I ordered, I still have that impression. It's direct ordering off of Chinese knockoffs. However, I was pleasantly surprised with some of the quality. Now, I did do 2 orders one day apart, and they kind of slowly trickled in over the next month. So it's kind of cheap, and it's really slow delivery of the items, and the tracking isn't very good. However, I was kind of pleasantly surprised with the items. So let me show you what I ordered, and this is the first order I put in the first day. And I'll kind of go over what the items were, and I'll kind of give you a quick overview of them. I'm not really reviewing them, it's more of the service. And then I'll go and show you what I ordered the second time and kind of just show you each item. So in this case, I had ordered just a few random things. First thing I ordered was this little neck knife. Now, when I saw it on the website, I saw the actual knife picture, and I wasn't really paying attention. Everything's in centimeters. I wasn't really paying attention to size, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Even if it's, you know, kind of a small one, it would be kind of neat to have a neck knife that is smaller. You know, maybe I can keep it in the bag or something. This is it. That there would be it. Hopefully I'm getting that on my camera. Compared to my hand, it is tiny. So neck knife, maybe, but it is small. It is sharp. I guess you could use it like that, if self-defense, if necessary. That would get somebody's attention. Quite honestly, small cutting open a box, something like that. Maybe even it's got a 90-degree edge on the other side. You could even strike ferro rod with it. It's small, but it was $1. So something like that, it's kind of neat. It does have some wording down it. It says Urban Pal. So I wouldn't say this is going to be your survival tool, but it's kind of neat. So that's kind of neat. The next thing I saw was a 22/556 boar snake. So I added that to my cart. I think it was like $5 or $4. Now each of these things, the other 3 items, I actually only paid shipping on, which was like $1 a piece. For this, it was $4 plus shipping. And this is a boar snake. And I was like, well, you can't get a regular boar snake for anything close to that. So I was like, well, I'll give it a try. It does have a brass end to it. You can see right there. There we go. And it does connect to a cord, which I made a discovery on. You can feel down inside here, there is a piece, and if you look, it doesn't bend like the rest of the cord. That is a shoestring. So literally, they covered this end of the shoestring with a little brass piece, and this end of the shoestring they crammed inside of this sock piece, and that is literally what that is. That's a shoestring. The sock piece actually has what looks like a brush crammed inside of it, so there's like a little brass brush. So you do have your brass bristles, and then it goes down to the rest of the sock. Now, it is kind of coming apart already. You can see right there, it's kind of fraying a bit, and that's just from being up against the brass. However, you know, even if I get like 2 uses out of it, it's still kind of neat. It's definitely worth a try. Like I said, buying from a company that I originally thought was Chinese knockoffs, that's pretty much what you're going to get, Chinese knockoffs. So that was the boar snake. The other thing I got was, I've seen this on TV, and essentially what it is it's a glue that has what's a little ultraviolet light on the other end. If you look, I'll show you on this camera. It's the glue pen, and then here's the ultraviolet light. Now, the idea behind this is the glue is actually this chemical makeup that reacts with the ultraviolet light. And when I saw it on this site, it was free, except for you pay $1 for shipping. So I thought, what's the chances of that actually working? And when I got it, the reason why it's in this bag is it was broken. It did not make the trip well. It bent in this area here, and it started leaking. So I ended up putting it in the bag because the compounds in here stunk. What I did do is I pulled the light off and I shined it on there, and that sealed it up, and this actually works. I was shocked. Cheap, but it worked. And then the last thing I had purchased on the first one was some emergency shears. Now, if you're an emergency medical technician or a doctor or a nurse or somebody that is dealing with has a trauma kit, I would not suggest these. They are kind of flimsy. However, for around the house with my kids and having a boo-boo pack, you know, a quick first aid kit for cutting possibly gauze, if you have like a small cut or wound or something, I would keep this. In fact, I'm going to put this in the first aid kit and keep it. However, for a professional, I definitely wouldn't risk my life on this. However, it does seem sharp enough, and it does seem like it'll work, but they're decent, and it's made by, I guess, a company called EDC Gear. So that was the first order, and over about a month, it took all of that to come in. Now, the next day, I did order something else, and you guys will probably recognize this case. This is what I used to have the pen rod in. This is just a regular Plano case I got from Walmart. But I decided to put all the items in here as they came in so we could have a look at them. Now, I did get quite a few things the next day. I believe 10 baits in all. And ranging from hard baits to bill baits to rattle to weighted to hook, just plastic baits, a bunch of different baits. Now, the 2 hard baits I got were these 2, and they came in separately, obviously. And this one is shaped like a squid. It has a small bill on the front and 2 hooks. The hooks are not very good. They're not very sharp. I probably won't be, in fact, that's what it looks like. Kind of decent quality, I guess. But I probably would, if I go to use that, I'll probably have to change out the hooks because they don't seem sharp. Same with this one. This is another hard bait. It kind of looks like a school of small minnows with a larger bill. It is, oh no, this isn't the one that rattles. This is the one that rattles. So this one actually looks like a bunch of minnows, and it has like a little feather to cover the back. So that's the second one. It's okay. They seem decent quality. The hooks are not very good. The squid actually rattles. So the squid actually has a rattle to it. Now, does it matter that it looks like a squid? Probably not. Once again, I'm not that great of a fisher or fishman, so it might work. It might not. So we'll see. And if it doesn't, it may not have anything to do with the bait. It's probably me instead. The next thing I got was some soft plastics. This one actually has some kind of a swirly type tail to it. It's all glittery. And one thing I noticed in these is the eyes are very pronounced. In fact, here's some smaller baits. They've got like a little wiggle tail to them. And I think these will actually have quite a bit of action. They all smell like the PVC type smell to them. So they smell like standard baits would. So it doesn't seem like there's anything out of order on them. They're pretty sturdy feeling. No, I'm not going to bite them or eat them. I've seen people doing that, and I think I honestly I don't understand what people think on that one. They're probably non-toxic, but yeah, no. The next thing I got were these rubber frogs, and I picked this actual color just because I don't have any baits in this color, and I thought, you know, that might not be bad. But this is just a standard rubber frog. And all of these seem to come in pretty decent. The next things I got in were these two. They were 2 in a pack. There are multiple hooks. There's a single hook on the back and a tri-hook that hangs from the bottom. And there is a place to attach your line at the top there. And these hooks are actually very sharp. These actually seem to be pretty decent, and I probably won't have to change these out. They're kind of a harder head with a softer body to them, so they're kind of rubber and lead combined. So, and these feel like they've got a little weight to them. The next thing I got in was these, which are a clear, soft plastic with a hook that is impregnated in them. So these are actually, I think these actually have the most action out of all of them. And these probably will work the best around here. They just don't feel as sturdy as the rest. And these aren't that big, so they'll probably work pretty well around here. And then the last bait I got in was this guy. And I like this one for some reason. Once again, notice the eyes are very pronounced. It has a very sharp hook on top, and then these tri-hook at the bottom are actually pretty sharp as well. So that's what it looks like, and it actually hooks here, and there's a pretty good sized chunk of lead in this, so it's very heavy, and it does have a bit of action to it. So overall, what are my thoughts? For the most part, if you go into this thinking you're going to get high-end equipment or high-end items, you're probably going to be disappointed when you get them. The way I thought of this going into it is this is kind of the bypassing Bud K type thing. This is buying directly from the Chinese knockoff center. As far as that's concerned, so if you go into this with that in your head, in your mind, that this is not going to be the highest quality stuff, you might be pleasantly surprised. Be prepared to wait for items. My wife and I had both been ordering, and a few items would trickle in this day. As it got later in the month, a few more items would trickle in. I mean, it wasn't a really fast process. So if it's something you need for the next day, this is not the service for you. If this is something that you can buy and kind of forget about, then you can probably find some pretty decent deals if you're not looking for really high quality stuff. When it comes to these things, I'm not really disappointed. I can say that this knife kind of surprised me on how small it is. The fact that this came in broken didn't really surprise me. I was a little disappointed with the fact that it was broken, but it didn't surprise me. It's coming from China, and you're literally tracking it from China to here. So there's no surprises that it actually came from there. So overall, I think that if you're not setting your sights really high as far as quality, as far as what to expect, you might be surprised on how good some of this stuff is. I have yet to use it, but I would definitely say that this is worth looking at. Now, I don't get paid by Wish. I don't get paid. I paid for all this stuff, so I'm not being paid to tell you this. So this is my actual opinion of it. What do you guys think? Have you guys tried Wish at all? Have any of you ordered from there? What was your experience? This is Pagan Shooter. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Check out my store on down below in the link. It's on Etsy, and this is one of the t-shirts. Let me know what you think, and until next time.